Hi there, I'm Ballsy, and we've touched down inside our top 5 here in the CanWest Top 50 show. Yes, in this installment, we will reveal the #1 player at the USPORTS level here in Western Canada, as chosen by coaches, media, and some players. But before we reveal that and the rest of our top 5, let's go back to last week. All right, so let's talk about Tyson Philpot, who coming into 2019 was probably more on the marquee than his brother Jalen. We'll start with Tyson first. Just your thoughts on his play.
Well, he's certainly got everything that, an aspiring pro would want to have. He's got size, he's got speed, he's got athleticism, he's got toughness, he's got quickness. He's also got a little bit of nasty, which makes him highly desirable on the offensive side of the ball. We're always looking for those offensive guys who have a little bit of a defensive persona in them, and he's not afraid to step into somebody and make his presence felt. He does everything with gusto, including blocking. He's a big play guy. He's a great guy bringing the underneath right across the field. He works the defensive back pretty well. Now, I believe that he and his brother, both have this, outstanding quality, and they have the capacity to play at the level that they're in. So, I believe that when he gets surrounded by, superior athletes at every position, I think that both those guys will acclimatize. They will be great pros, and they'll play for a long time.
All right, here with the Huskies quarterback Mason Nyhus of Regina. As we talk, your girlfriend's inside shopping at the mall, and you're talking. That's been a good guy.
Yeah, I might have to get her a shirt here at Aritzia or whatever she buys, but it's a good deal.
That's awesome. First of all, besides that, serious note, condolences on your grandma passing away. Did she watch you play football live in your university days?
First off, appreciate it, Ballsy. Means a lot. And yeah, she did. She came to a few games there in Regina, Alberta, Saskatoon, of course. So yeah, she'll be greatly missed. She was a great lady.
Yeah, okay. So you got a smile on your face, which is great. You always do. Has it been hard to keep the smile on your face over the last, which turned out to be almost 2 years without football?
For sure. It feels like it's just been such a long year. I kind of got a snap memory of 1 year ago today. I was in BC at my girlfriend's place playing catch and thinking I'm getting ready for a 2020 season that never came. So it kind of allowed me to reflect and realize how long it's really been since we've stepped on the field for a real football game. So it's definitely been tough, but honestly, it's just trying to stay focused, always get better, and just knowing that there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Okay, but let me ask you this. Has it prepared you for life after football? Like, have you thought more about life after football? Because when you're done, you're going to have 2 degrees.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely allowed me to focus more on school. I'm taking 6 classes right now in this term just because there's less football. I can kind of focus on my education a bit more. So, yeah, it's definitely helped me in that aspect. But really, I'd give it all up for just one more game right now. So, hoping football's back for sure.
How confident are you going to get that you're going to get on the field in 2021?
I'm pretty confident. Obviously, it's completely out of my hands, so I'm hoping maybe it's a foolish confidence, but I'm confident that it's going to go and or something. Coach Flory, he's going to try to scheme something up so he can get some games if something happens where we can't get a normal season. But I'm confident we'll be playing something.
I know this about you, but a lot of people have said this about you. You have the ability to get people to rally around you and fire them up, but you also have the ability to settle them down at the same time, which is a very hard thing to do. How do you do it?
I appreciate that, Ballsy. Honestly, I don't even know. I just kind of try to be myself, and I try to stay as even keel as possible. Obviously, easier said than done in some situations, but I just try to maintain my own emotions and talk to my teammates. I'm a very loud and energetic guy, so hopefully people gravitate to that. And you know what? It's really easy on this football team to do that because we just have a ton of good guys that are really good friends and are great buddies off the field, which makes it really easy to kind of translate and get everyone rallied on the field as well.
So you have to have a great relationship as a quarterback with your coach. How's your relationship with the head coach, Scott Flory?
I think it's awesome. Hopefully he thinks the same. But yeah, no, Flory's an awesome guy, awesome coach. If you ask anyone, they'll say he's the best players coach ever. He's just a really fun, easy guy to talk to. He's kind of an open door guy. You go into the gym, he's working out, he's listening to rock tunes, door's always open, easy to talk to. And he asked me, what do I like, Mason, what do you like here, what do you like there, you like this concept? No, well, shit can it, sorry, pardon my language.
No, it's fine.
But we'll let go of it, like whatever. So he's very easy to talk to, and he lets the players in on the game plan and stuff like that. So he's really fun to play for.
Awesome. You're a guy that can throw the football all over the field, but you also have a running back that's arguably the best running back in the country. So you don't get to throw it as much as maybe you'd like, as I can see you're smiling like a butcher's dog there. But just talk about being in an offense like this, because in the Canadian game, right now, it's usually you pass to set up the run. Your team, lots of it goes through number 20.
For sure. And like I said, great guys on our team. Adam Machart's at the top of the list. He's one of my best buddies here. You won't find a more humble guy. He would do anything for the team, as would I. So, hey, if I need to throw the ball 10 times a game and we can hand off to number 20, 30 times, we win the game by 30, hey, I'm all for it, and vice versa. I know if he got 10 touches and I threw for 40, we won the game, he'd be happy with it. So that's the type of guy he is, and I have no problem with it. Obviously, hey, I'm a quarterback. I want to throw the football, but whatever is going to help us win games. And just a quick shout out, Josh Uncina is no slouch either. So we have two very capable running backs back there, and I'm just fortunate to have such a great running game that takes pressure off the pass, of course.
Yeah, take a shout out to, or give a shout out to Colton Clausen, who I didn't think would be back. Then he might be the steal of the draft with Montreal. Depends if he ends up there, but either way, he'll be back with you guys at the very least. Just talk about that kid, because he is the definition of a football player.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And he's the exact same guy as you see on the interviews. I know he's a great guy. The media love him because he has the great sound bites and he's passionate when he's talking to you. He's the same guy everywhere. He's hardworking in the gym, in the meetings, practice field, you name it. The guy just loves football, and he has one speed, right? He's 100% all the time. Hey, even when you're just throwing with the guy have a few guys together, go throw. Hey, CK, just take this route at 50. Like, let's just keep the legs nice. He can't do it. He's 100% all the time. And I love that about him. And he's just a guy that everyone can rally around because he's so passionate about the game. So like you said, you can't say enough good things about that guy. He's just one of those guys you always want on your team. So very happy to have him, and hopefully he's back.
Couple more quick questions for you, Mason. Your team, obviously chasing the Dinos. They're the defending champs back in 2019. This is a good conference. You got the Dinos, yourself, the Rams are going to be a good team, and we always know the Bisons play tough. Just your thoughts on how, when we get back on the field here, how you guys will stack up.
Yeah, obviously, biasly, I think we're a great team, and we can beat anyone on any given day. And I think that's really the story of the Canada West. Any team can really beat anyone. The Dinos obviously always are going to be good. They're the Dinos. They have a great program, great coaching, great players. So I'll expect nothing else but a great game against them. Like you said, the Bisons, they're very good. I have a ton of respect for Desmond Cotillier. He's a good friend. I think he's a great quarterback. The Rams, obviously, hopefully they get Borsa back after that blazing 40. We don't know what his future holds next year. But, I have so much respect for Boris. He's one of my best friends. I think they'll take a huge step forward with him back in the backfield. And UBC, U of A, both very good teams. We'll see what happens with Cross and Halak there in UBC. But if they're back, they're very dangerous with a good defense. And then U of A, Lonhart, great quarterback. He has a gun, and they have some big weapons on offense. And then if they get all those big defensive backs back, I think they average like 6'2" in the back end. So they're very athletic back there. So, hey, they have a good team too. So it's very well balanced across the conference, and it should be very exciting, and I'm looking forward to it.
Did you pick up anything and did you do anything cool in the pandemic? It's been a long time. Like some guys have picked up playing a guitar, some guys a harmonica, some guys are reading. I know you're doing lots of school, which is good, but like doing anything fun, anything cool?
Not too much. I was out in BC, like I said. My girlfriend's family's from out there, so I was out there quite a bit, and I learned how to do some wakeboarding and some wake surfing, which I really didn't get to do too much growing up. So that was super cool. Golfing a ton, which is kind of the norm right now. Everyone my age seems like they have a golfing addiction. So that's been fun, and I've honestly been just watching a ton of film. I know that sounds cliche, but I really have been. Like you said, we're away from football so much. I just want to get back and start looking at some defenses and self-scout as well. So it's been good.
Okay, it's the top 50 with one best of the rest each week. So in essence, the top 60. You're number 4 on the list. How does it feel to be considered the 4th best player in probably the best conference in youth sports football?
Yeah, it feels great. No, I appreciate it. Obviously you want to be the best player you can be, and we have so many good players in this conference. I could talk to you for hours, Ballsy, about how many good players there are in this conference. So to be named 4, and I'm assuming we have a couple guys ahead of me because I think there's a few good players on our team. So I'm happy about that. But yeah, no, it's a very good conference. I'm very humbled and happy to be placed 4th there. So I appreciate it.
Say, get in the mall, buy your girlfriend a shirt. Okay, I'm done with you now.
I appreciate it, Ballsy. Have a good one. Thanks for having me.
Take care, buddy. Here with U of S Huskies defensive back Nelson Lokombo, but you're staying in Saskatchewan one way or the other, buddy, because you're a Saskatchewan Rough Rider too, as we talk right now. Just after the draft, you've kind of had it, the dust has settled a little bit. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great, actually. Yeah. Yesterday was a fun day, so I'm just happy to be where I'm at.
Yeah, in this weird pandemic world, how did you celebrate?
Just with some friends and family. Didn't have too many people over, but it was still a good celebration.
What has your brother Bo, who's been in the CFL for a while, told you about being a professional football player, and how much has he helped you, Nelson?
Yeah, he's very happy for me. He's very happy, very supportive right now. Yeah, having him around me has been great, and having his advice and everything has been awesome. So,
yeah, what's the best piece of advice he's given you so far? Maybe not just in football, but in life.
Probably just have fun. To have fun with it, and just enjoy the moment you have right now.
Has it been hard to have fun prior to last night? Has it been hard to have fun over the last year and a bit since we've gone through this terrible pandemic? It's affected everybody. How has it affected you, Nelson?
Yeah, it was definitely something to adapt to. I know everybody had to. When it first happened, we were in the middle of off-season training, getting ready to play next year. And when that got taken away, everything kind of was just an adjustment for everybody. So, just getting used to the whole process without football was something that was interesting, and a lot of lessons were learned along the way. I was able to go back home and to train with my brother and with some friends as well. So I did that, and then I came back to Sask to train for the combine. So guess little things like that where some a light at the end of the tunnel was there. So yeah.
Hey, I'm eavesdropping over your head there. Can you tell me who's in that picture above you there? Like, I know it's family probably, but can you give me who's in that picture?
Yeah, okay. So on my right over there, that's Bo, and then to the left of him is my mom. To the left of her is my sister Melissa, and then my brother Leon, and then me. So
do you guys all live out west, or like, are you a tight-knit family?
Yeah. We're all pretty close to each other.
Awesome. So, were you surprised at number 2 from the Saskatchewan Roughriders? Second straight year that the Riders have turned to the U of S for their first pick in the draft. Did you get a good indication that it was going to be the Riders?
I guess leading up to the week, I wasn't really expecting to go to number 2. But on draft day, I kind of had a feeling. My agent called me and told me that Saskatchewan was showing some interest and to watch out for them. So I had a little bit of an idea of, or I guess a feeling that I was going to go there. And when it happened, it was surreal. I don't know how to explain the emotions I felt, but yeah.
Have you ever been to a Rough Rider game, Nelson? I know they play generally when you play in the season, but have you ever been to a game maybe to watch your brother here in Saskatchewan, just to kind of get a feel of what it's like in Rider Nation?
I have, actually. I've only been in one game. That was the game after, it was the day after we played Regina. So my brother told me to come and watch and got me some tickets. I went over there and saw him, got to watch him play and got to experience how rowdy Rider Nation is. It's crazy. It's something that I haven't seen in my life. So it's definitely going to be fun playing with them.
Yeah, how much do you think it helps you that you've already spent some time in cold weather Saskatchewan, being a left coast kid, to come out here, and it's not much of a transition to stay in Saskatchewan. You just come down the highway to Regina now. Yeah,
it's definitely going to be nice. It's going to be great. Having my time out there so far it's been amazing. Just have embraced the culture out there, and I'm just excited to get going. That's all I can say.
And it's kind of, like, suppose you got drafted, no disrespect against any of the other teams, but suppose you got drafted by Winnipeg or Ottawa or wherever, you'd be happy to go. But now you have your family that's going to come watch you. Your brother's in the league, so you'll play against him. But then you've kind of got a built-in fan base there in Saskatoon. So it's like family's close to you. They can come watch you.
Yeah, it's definitely nice, and having some teammates and some friends, some students that I had classes with or that I know can come to watch the games, and that's going to be really cool. So
it's a year of challenges, Nelson, and for you stepping in, we don't know what kind of season we're going to have. We don't know how long the season's going to be. You probably won't get the benefit of a preseason to iron out your kinks in game action. Have the Riders told you what they expect from you? Do you know I'm not saying you're a lock to make the team, but do you have any indication of what their plans are for you immediately or down the road?
Yeah. So I spoke to a few members of the coaching staff, and they basically, from what I understand, said that my situation is I have to learn multiple positions and learn the playbook that way. And that's kind of how I'll be able to make the field. So excited.
Yeah, no kidding. Hey, give us your best attribute. I mean, I know you fly around, you're a great tackler, but what do you think your best attribute is right now?
I'd say probably just my instincts when the games actually happen. And a lot of it goes or is accredited to watching film and understanding what's going to happen in certain situations. And obviously my athletic ability makes up for a lot of situations where I can make a play on the ball. So I'd probably say my instincts, and it definitely helps me be a playmaker. So
were you always a film guy? Like, were you always into film study, or can you be taught that? Who helped you learn how to watch film?
Yeah, I was always interested in film. Even in high school, we used to have access to Huddle, so we were able to watch games and watch other teams and do all of that. So that's kind of always been what I enjoyed. I've gotten better at it as I've gone through university, through our coaching staff and everybody out there. So
awesome. Hey, Nelson, you talked about learning lessons in this pandemic. Can you give us one that you learned? How did you become a better person or a football player during this time? Because I've asked a lot of guys on this list of mine, and they, some guys picked up the harmonica, some guys picked up guitar, some guys learned patience. They learned to be a better teammate, a better leader. What have you learned?
I've actually, I'm trying to learn how to play the guitar, so that's one of them. But I would say the biggest lesson I learned was probably that I'm able to handle a lot more than I think. Just mentally, I think that's probably the biggest thing, and I think that's really what helped keep me grounded.
Yeah, for sure. You talk about versatility. You certainly will have to be versatile because the Riders are looking at maybe starting 2 Canadians in the secondary, so they need backups at that position. So you're definitely a guy that probably can move around the board. You talk about being a film nut, but versatility would also be probably one of your strengths, right?
Yeah, for sure. And you know, I was able to play multiple positions at Sask, and yeah, definitely been the type to, or I should say, I guess last year was an eye opener for me in terms of what I think I can do. Before I made the switch to halfback, I wasn't too big on switching positions. Kind of just wanted to stay at corner, but after my switch, completely changed my perspective on things, and you know, made me realize that I could play anywhere.
Your brother played D1 football. During this hiatus, Dean Leonard was a guy that won a Vanier Cup and then went to Ole Miss and excelled down there. And everybody compared you two in this draft. Did you have a chance to go down south D1, Nelson?
Yeah, I did. I actually spoke to a few coaches, few D1 coaches, and they unfortunately weren't able to play this year. So,
yeah, interesting. Okay, and give me a shout out here to your buddy, or my buddy, but your coach Paul Waldo, who supports my podcast, 3-time Grey Cup champ, and your secondary coach at the U of S. How much has he helped you? He seems like he'd be a pretty good coach. I've never been coached by him, but he seems like a pretty calm, collected, very into the game, and very studious.
Yeah, Paul, I love Paul, man. Paul's amazing. He's somebody that connects very well with everybody on the team. Somebody I can call up anytime and just listen to. It's definitely nice to be coached by him. I think he has a perspective that not many coaches have. You know, he's got so much experience and still pretty fresh. He could probably still play right now. So, yeah, Paul has been amazing and has definitely helped my development throughout my time there in Sask.
How important is it to a student athlete, a young guy, a fledgling pro, to have a relatable coach like that? Somebody that's been recently playing, that's had success, that was a blue chipper. He wasn't a highly touted guy like you. He was a blue chipper, junior football, university, 165 pounds soaking wet, special teamer. But the dude, he does what he's supposed to do, wins Grey Cups. How important is that to you to have a coach like that?
It's huge. And, you know, that was one of the reasons why I chose to go to Sask. You know, Paul and just our coaching staff in general, a lot have experience as players and have won Grey Cups and have won Vanier Cups. So that was one of the reasons why I saw myself in that situation.
Nelson, lastly, on our list here for the CanWest Top 50, you are number 3, man. You're right there at the top. How does it feel to, and this was the one conducted anonymously amongst coaches, some media members, and some players that I know and trust. How does it feel to be 3 on our list?
It's awesome. It's awesome, you know, having the recognition from and the respect from other people, other peers is definitely something that, you know, adds a little more motivation to try to get to number 1, but you know, it's still great nonetheless.
Yeah, and I guess I'll slip one more in here. Just talk about how I think underappreciated the talent is in CanWest football. Just talk about that for a minute, because I think you're on par with Dean Leonard. Dean Leonard went Div 1 and played there. I'm not saying every guy could do that, but there are some good football players in this conference.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of great players, and there's so much talent in Canada in general. You see guys like, you know, Chase Claypool and John Mechie with Alabama, and you see lots of guys just making Canada, you know, holding the flag up for Canada down south, and you know, the talent level isn't too far off from the guys down south. So it's definitely cool to see that we're getting some recognition. And even with this NFL draft, we got 4 Canadians drafted, which is, you know, it's crazy. So yeah, it's definitely nice to be a part of this country and to represent.
Tell you what, man, I'm looking forward to watching you. I can say this Definitely. I'll be watching you in green and white somewhere this year. That's great. Thanks for this, Nelson. I really appreciate it. It's fun. Congratulations.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so you expanded on Tyson, maybe a little bit on Jalen, who really had a breakout year and instrumental in a Vanier Cup run for you guys.
Yeah, well, I mean, Jalen was our most consistent player. First of all, he's the only player we had in the receiving corps that played, all 12 games. So, your numbers are going to be a little bit better when you're there all the time. I mean, Tyson had some sort of nagging injuries that at times we had to rest him, and for his longevity, etc. It was the best thing to do. Good use of personnel, I would say. Jalen, was ready to step up and contribute. He has all those attributes, that Tyson has, but because the two of them were kind of reared a little bit differently, Tyson was the receiver and Jalen was the running back as they grew up as kids, etc. So what they bring to that position is a slightly different skill set, but both highly desirable. The other thing that they both have too that I forgot to mention is they're both outstanding returners. They can make the first guy miss, which is highly desirable quality, and then they can outrun some people. So they're going to be great commodities. Now listen, if you could get one of those rules where that if you draft one, the other one has to come as well. I mean, that would be double indemnity. That'll be a real bonus,
Are they do they have that Sedin twin mentality to them in hockey where one Sedin goes, the other has to go? Do they have that kind of same mentality makeup?
Well, I have coached some twins in the past, etc., and I'm afraid that they are uniquely bonded. I'm sure they'd love to play together, but at this point, their dad Corey has counseled them to the likelihood of them both being on the same team in the future will be remote. So, but you never know. You never know. Some might pick 1 and 2. You never know.
Yeah, their dad Corey played in the CFL for a while. Do you think that helps a kid when his dad has reached a high level of success in the chosen sport that he's in?
Well, I believe that we had 5 sons of former CFL players on the 2019 National Championship, and they brought certainly an enhanced understanding of the game, great competitiveness. Whether that was a direct link to their dad, I have to believe that it is. When you grow up in the game and you grow up in a competitive environment, and you aspire higher because you're already a part of that culture. So. I believe that not necessarily every, son or daughter of an ex-pro, fills those shoes, but certainly in the case of these young men that we had in our club, you could see the direct linkage, and they were all great players, all understood the game, probably all got more coaching, in the car on the way home after the game, you know what it is.
Here with Rams defensive lineman Tanner Schmekel. Tanner, as we tape this thing, you just had a COVID test. Did they go through the throat, or did they tickle your brain?
Tickled my brain a little bit. Yeah. It wasn't that pleasant. I would like to not have to do it again. That's for sure.
Yeah. So what part, does it feel like they're actually in the back of your head?
Just feels like they're kind of deep up in your forehead a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. My son's had quite a few down south, and he said that, he has to blow his nose for 10 minutes after. Did you feel that?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of a crazy world. Hey, this pandemic's been hard on a lot of people. I understand you got a little bit of anxiety over it. If you're comfortable, maybe tell us about what you kind of went through.
Yeah, just all this time just hanging out at home, not being around the fellas, just the whole change in routine for everyone. I think it's having a hard impact on everyone, not just me, but for me, just hanging around at home, I just started to feel like something was wrong all the time. And it's kind of weird for me because I'm a very outgoing, happy guy my whole life. So I noticed it instantly, and I wasn't so much feeling depression, but just always anxious, something bad was going to happen. And I kind of put 2 and 2 together that it just started to happen after being isolated and just away from everyone for so long. So
I'm going to assume you're doing better. You got the help that you needed?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, everything's going great. And I thought that the restrictions were going to get a little better and I'd be able to see the boys, but of course the city's everything's getting a little worse now, but I think we'll get better over time and we'll get back together, and I'm just looking forward to spending time with the boys in the future.
I was going to say, that was going to be one of my questions. As we tape this, we're kind of going through a tough time here in Regina, but is that the thing obviously you miss the most is the guys? It's being around the locker room, being around the weight room.
That's something I took for granted a lot. Like I didn't love practicing 5 days a week. I love playing football games, but I wasn't a big guy to practice 5 days a week. But now, frick, I miss being at those practices every night under the lights and everything. Like, I'll appreciate it a whole lot more once I get back, that's for sure.
I bet you'd love to do two-a-days now.
Oh, absolutely. It's just anything at this point. It's like my body's shaking at home, wanting to do something.
So you're a guy that likes the weight room. How have you been able to cope not being at a weight room, or have you gone to a local gym? What have you done?
Luckily, at the start, when everything went to lockdown, my girlfriend, their family does CrossFit and everything. So they had a great setup in their garage that I was able to use. But I got a little bored of working out by myself. And I like when I move some pretty good weight, and I like when people watch me work out. It gives me a little bit of motivation. So I started going to the YMCA again, and you got to book your workout time. But yeah, I've been staying in the gym for sure.
My son knows you well. He said, the guy's nuts. The guy's a machine. What can you throw up on the bench?
Oh, 405 right now for a couple reps.
Wow. And he was really impressed with your squats. What do you squat, buddy?
About 600 for 2 or 3 right now.
Wow, that's crazy. So where did your love of the gym come from? Was it out of necessity because of football, or was it always there?
Well, I've always been a pretty big guy, and I've always been pretty competitive. I have 3 brothers, so I've always just wanted to compete my whole life. And I remember when I joined the Riffle Royals in grade 10, and I came in the weight room, and it was one of my first workouts, and I was just lifting as much as like the guys in grade 12 already, pretty much. And everyone was just kind of like, holy shit, who's this guy? And I just remember that feeling was awesome. Ever since that day, I've just wanted to keep running the numbers up to keep getting that feeling from surprising people pretty much.
So you played with the Rams in 2018. What do you remember about coming on the scene in 2018? About the game, maybe the speed of the game, how different it was?
The main thing I remember about joining the Rams in 2018 was just like for the game aspect, the speed, the size of the dudes, all that was completely different than high school. It was just a quicker game. All the guys were stronger. I definitely needed that year to redshirt to get bigger, faster, and stronger to compete with those guys. Mm-hmm. The biggest overall thing when I joined the Rams, I found, was just time management. Like when you join the Rams, it's so hard to learn to balance family, friends, just everything while practicing and doing school 5 nights a week. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, and that's what a lot of guys talk about. It's time management. So you took some time away from the Rams, still pursued your love of football with the Thunder. Tell me about your time with the Regina Thunder.
Honestly, they were great to me. They freaking took me under my wing when I just wasn't sure what I was doing with football at that exact moment. Scott helped me out a lot. It was a little bit different because I hadn't played too much D-end throughout my football career. And when I joined the Thunder, I was playing a bit of D-end and everything. But overall, I loved my time there. All the guys were super accepting, and it was a good place to kind of just refresh and just get my goals in line and figure myself out.
Yeah, a lot of guys say that, it's not bad to go to junior football for a couple of years if you don't know about university, just because you're going to get game reps and you'll get up to speed and be ready to go when you get to university.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I hear. So how is this Tanner Schmekel, the 2021 version, going to be different or better maybe than the 2018 version of Tanner Schmekel, who, by the way, was pretty decent too?
Honestly, I just think I'm super motivated to get my name out there. I think that I'm a pretty humble guy, but I think I'm an exceptional player, and I haven't really got the chance to, other than my first year on the Rams, to show myself. So I'm super motivated to just get out there and show all these coaches who I am.
Yeah, I think too, we saw your video on the show from the Thunder days, but that adds to the whole mystique. You're a little bit under the radar, even though you squat 600 and throw up 2 houses on the bench press. You're a little under the radar, which I think might work to your advantage.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm hoping-
Yeah, for sure. So, how do you think this football team is going to look going forward in 2021 if you guys do get on the field?
I think we'll be unreal. All the guys have been working hard. I've been Snapchatting the boys, making sure everyone's keeping in the weight room, and they've been Snapchatting me, making sure everything's going good in school and everything. The team just seems very tight.
Yeah.
Compared to the first year, everyone seems a little cliquey. Now it just seems like one big family. Like everyone's super tight on the team. I think we'll have a good run at the Vanier for sure.
That's pretty important for sure. Okay, couple more things for you. What's your best attribute as a football player besides the weight room stuff? What's your best attribute in the trenches there?
I would say as a team guy, I know how to bring the boys together, especially when things are going bad and like people start fighting each other. I know how to calm things down and just bring everyone together and just keep everyone having a level head so we don't start battling our own teammates and other things like that. And I just think I know how to motivate young guys because I've been through some stuff as a young guy myself. So when people are having issues, I think I can help young guys freaking get through their thing.
Where does that come from? Do you learn to be a leader, or did you just learn by osmosis by watching maybe a parent or watching a fellow player? Where does that come from?
I honestly think I got lucky being the youngest of three brothers. I got to watch them make mistakes and I got to see their failures. So I kind of figured out what to not do and how to help other people out just from watching what they did, and my mom and dad, of course. But yeah, I think I was raised a leader by watching their failures, and I just got blessed and learned how to do things right and help people do things right.
Awesome, man. Last question for you. You touched on it a bit, but what's your goal? Do you have any goals for yourself for this season?
Just to get noticed mainly. Like I want to go to the East-West Bowl next year. I want to be going to the National Combine. I just want to get my name out there. I think I will if we get a season.
So that's your aspiration too, to play pro football at the next level? That's your deal?
Absolutely, 100%. I want to play at the next level for sure. After my first year, I noticed a few guys that I went against as a young dude go to the CFL, and I'm like, these guys are 4 years older than me. If they're going there and I have 4 more years to prepare, I should be able to.
Yeah. Can you give me a name? Can you give me a name?
John Hart's one of the main guys I remember. He bent the highest bench press, and I remember when we played Alberta, I got my first sack against him, and I was like, if this guy's going to the CFL and benching the most reps, I can do the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome, man. That's great. Thank you for this. I can't wait to see you on the field in Ram colors again. It should be a fun year when we get back on. Let's think positive.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Here with the U of S Huskies running back, Adam Machart. How are you today, buddy?
Doing fantastic. How about yourself?
Good. So I guess first off, reveal you're the #1 player in the CanWest Conference, as chosen by players, coaches, media, anonymously. How does that make you feel? Are you surprised by it?
I don't know about surprised. I guess I've worked pretty hard, but for it all to come to fruition is pretty exciting. So yeah, I'm flattered. I mean, there's so many great players in our conference. I think that we have the most competitive conference for sure in the country. So I'm super honored and excited.
You match yourself up against anybody in your conference? I know you don't play against the other running backs, but like, for instance, Boris is supposed to come back in 2021. I'm looking forward to the first Huskies-Rams matchup where they're handing it off to Adam Machart, and then those guys are turning and handing it off to Kyle Borsa. I like to watch the game within the game. Are you competitive like that? And hey, he just ripped off a 60-yard run. I'm going to rip off a 60-yard run.
Yeah, I think that there's definitely a bit of that going on. Obviously, Kyle in Regina is a phenomenal athlete, just a crazy running back. So you definitely are seeing that guy. It's like, okay, he's making plays for his team. You know, I got to make plays for mine. There's definitely some of that goes on. Definitely try to focus on your own game a bit, but you know, it's hard not to look across the sideline and see that guy, you know, ripping off runs. So
what's your favorite part of your game?
I think my ability to just get those extra yards after contact. You know, everyone's talking about you want big running back size and everything like that, but you know, my ability to break, you know, bounce off tackles is the most fun, I'd say, for me. Yeah, I really enjoy that part of it.
You know, I like in Canadian football, and I mentioned this to Mason, who came in at number 4. Nyhus is a guy that if he's playing on any other team would probably throw it 30, 40, 45 times a game. But obviously, when you got the stud tailback like Machart in the backfield, you're going to hand it off 20, 25 times. How do you does it make you feel good that in Canadian football, mostly we pass to set up the run, but the Huskies, it's old school football. We're running with number 20 and you and Chena behind you to set up the pass a little bit, which is old school football.
Yeah, I think that it's definitely pretty cool that we have the ability to do that. But I think that's not a testament to myself and Josh in the backfield. I think that's a testament to our coaching staff who's been able to set the playbook up that way, and then our O-line, receivers blocking downfield, everybody else. That it's a 12-man sport, so you have everybody contributing to that mindset. So it's fun to be a part of it. As a running back, you can't really think of a better situation to be in.
You mentioned a good point there. I never really thought about it. You probably have the best blocking receiving core in CanWest.
Yeah, it's actually crucial to if you're gonna bust off a run that's more than 20 yards, you have to have that. There's no way you're gonna outrun those DBs who are sometimes 15 yards back. They have that advantage on you, so you need guys downfield making those types of blocks for those big runs to be ripped off.
Your O-line, any O-line is usually clicky. It's the only job in sports that I can think of in North America where your whole job is to sacrifice your body for other guys, whether it's a quarterback, whether it's a running back. So those guys are a breed unto themselves. They're clicky, but they generally adopt the running backs into their room. Are you an honorary offensive lineman?
I like to think so, for sure. We're pretty close. I'm close with all those guys. They're all beauties. I definitely like to think that, just maybe a little bit smaller in stature, but I think I'm one of them.
I thought you should have been a Heck Crichton Trophy winner. I really, no disrespect to Merchant out there in Western, but I thought his numbers were just okay. I think it was a little biased because they had been picking a lot of guys from out west lately, and you kind of got overlooked. Kind of tasted that leaving your mouth, Adam Machart.
Oh, you know what? I think that just leaves me wanting more. There's a chip there, right? And to be in a position where you've been so close, and maybe I should have won it, but it shows me that I have the capability, the potential to be there, and I've got some time left on the clock. So, that chip to go and try to do it again and see what happens.
How frustrating has this almost 2-year layoff been for you, being that you had such a great year, an unbelievable year, you're ready to go, and then it's done. So how has it been for you?
Yeah, it's been a challenge. I mean, you go, like you said, from all that forward momentum and great year and all that stuff, and our team was looking really good, and then all of a sudden, boom, COVID, and so it's been a shift. It's the challenge, I'd say, has been keeping the focus and the mindset on what's going to be coming, because we will be playing football again one day, and it's about having that same mentality, the same desire to win as we did after that 2019 season. So it has been some positives come out of it. As a running back, so many injuries, little bumps and bruises. So for me personally, I've been trying to take the time to really clean up all the little things that have been kind of going on with me over the years that I just haven't had the time, or there's been always something more major going on. So clean up the little stuff, get healthy, and be ready to go when we do get back.
Guy who had an unbelievable 2019 season. This sounds like a dumb question, but do you ever regret being a running back for what you just described? It is a very physical position.
I'll take every bump and bruise. I'll take every bump and bruise every single day. I wouldn't change it for the world.
What do you miss? What do you miss about football that maybe you didn't like before the pandemic, that you know what, I'd even do that again?
Yeah. On I think it's either Tuesday or Wednesday nights. I mean, it's been so long, I'm forgetting, but we have, you do practice, and it's like the first or second day after, or practice after game, and we do conditioning post practice, and I'm like, I'd even do that right now. Yeah. Like, you're still sore, you're all banged up, but you're like, oh, conditioning, let's go. Yeah. I'd do that.
How has Adam Machart gotten better or done something? Have you done something different away from football? I've talked to guys They picked up hobbies like the guitar or reading, or Mason did some wakeboarding, doing his best David Hasselhoff. What has Adam Machart done? Anything different or cool or wild?
Yeah, I picked up juggling. That's one thing I'm,
Are
trying
you
to.
serious?
Yeah, man. Yeah,
What do you juggle?
I just ordered some juggling balls off Amazon. I figured, what better way to work on hand-eye coordination than give my brain a little bit of a break from staring at the computer all day with online school. So just something to do with my hands. I'm a hands-on guy. I need to be playing with something or doing something. So I got some juggling balls. We're doing that. So
how many can you throw in the air at once? Or have you just started?
I'm doing 3 right now, and I can go about like 12 throws on a good one. So I'm not an expert yet, but I'm getting there. I'm working.
So are they hard balls?
They're like a hacky sack almost, like a beanbag ball a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what made you decide juggling? Like, was it something you watched on America's Got Talent or something like that?
You see guys like Alvin Kamara and some of those other running backs doing like these crazy drills for hand-eye coordination. I'm like, I'm not doing any of that. Well, I can at least juggle or something. Like, I need to be, let's go here. Do something for the hand-eye coordination.
That's awesome. So, what's your goal for this year coming up in 2021? Your own personal goal? Is there something? Have you written down a goal sheet? Do you have a dream board? Is there something you want this year for yourself?
For myself, I want to get through the entire season healthy and be in a position to play for my team come playoffs and play to the best of my ability, not hindered by anything. So for me is to just take care of my body, do the right things throughout the season, so that when we get there, when we get to where we want to be, hopefully that's Vanier, is that I'm in a position to be completely healthy and play at the best of my ability for my team in that situation.
Were you not doing that before? Like, was it something where you really weren't paying attention to stretching as much as you should, or looking after your body as much as you should?
In my opinion, you're never doing everything you can. So, you can be, I'm stretching a couple days a week or doing something, but I think there's just always more. And I think that there is more that I could have been doing and more that I am planning on doing. I've never been that guy who's been satisfied with what I'm doing, even with it, like in success. I think that there's always room to grow and get better and do things better. And so for me, it's like, I was still feeling some things throughout the season. So why not step it up a bit and see if I can feel better, feel a little bit healthier. And I think that also goes into preparation, like preseason. So this off season, so doing a little bit of extra mobility maybe, or something like that to get myself in a better state at the start.
So you're the best player in the best conference in Canada at the highest level of amateur football, which is a great accomplishment. Who do you think of when I say that helped you get to this point? Like, who comes to mind at the top of your mind to help you get to where Adam Machart is right now?
Yeah, you think about guys like, for me, Dave Stevens was I always looked up to, still do actually, always looked up to Dave. He's just work ethic wise and that sort of thing. I mean, it's just amazing what he's done in his career, and then also just like how he's impacted so many lives through working with Ignite a couple years ago, and then a guy like Tyler Chow. I mean, obviously I just came behind him right away. He's not much older than me, but I remember when I was playing with the Hilltops, I was in the stands for a Huskies game and I was watching Tyler Chow. I said, wow, that guy's amazing. Like, I want to be able to do that one day on the Husky field. I want to do that. And I told my buddies that. I said, I want to do that one day. And then, so, watching him, how he runs, I was just like, yeah, I need to do that.
How important is it for you to do that for a guy like Josh Uinchina, who I think could be a starting running back on a lot of teams in this conference? I mean, save for your team and probably, the Rams with Borsa coming back. Uinchina, there's only one football. There's all these great guys, and there's you and him in the backfield. But how important is it for you to pass on what you know to him?
I think it's super important. I think the worst thing you could do is try to hold on to anything. It's a team sport. You are in the same position, but I think that both of us being the best we can be by, passing knowledge on between each other, I think is super important. And that's something that we actually do. We talk all the time, and, talking about plays or how I did that, how he did this, we both have different styles. So I think that if we can combine those or pass on knowledge that, can benefit each other's games, I think that's for all the best.
Two more quick questions for Adam Machart, the best player in the CanWest Conference, according to those that were polled. So has this long off season made you think more about life after football, and what do you want to do after football? Has it give you pause for reflection?
Yeah, I think that it's definitely a lot more time to think, right? When you're in the race of football, it's between workouts, between practices, you don't really have that downtime to just be contemplating as much. So I've definitely had some time to reflect, and some unique opportunities I think are in the works, and I'm excited. I'm excited for that, but I'm also excited to play a little bit more while I can.
That's what Nyhus said. He's got 2 degrees, and he has been thinking about life after football, but he said he'd give it all up to play another down on the field in a game situation. You too?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, you can work or you can do anything else for the rest of your life. I think that we're so lucky to be able to play this game for as long as we have. So I'm gonna enjoy every second of it until I'm done.
That's awesome. Okay, last question for you. The Vanier Cup's one of the toughest trophies to win. That's a tough trophy because you only have 8 games. If you start 0-3, 0-4, you probably aren't even in the playoffs. I'm not suggesting you guys are going to, but just talk to how you got to hit the ground running, and who knows what kind of schedule we're going to have when we come back. The other one that's tough is the Memorial Cup. So how do you feel about your team's chances getting onto the field and competing against the defending champion Dinos from 2019? Rams are going to be good. Bison's going to be in the mix. And of course, UBC and U of A are always tough too.
Yeah, I mean, our conference is never easy. You can literally have a game, like a battle every game. There's never a game that we go into that are like, oh yeah, we got this in the bag. We've never had that attitude. I think that our team is as good as it has been. I think that, lots of key guys we have coming back. I think we're in a good position. I think that the only thing that's gonna stop us, I think, is ourselves. And I think we're ready to go for that season.
I'm going to re-edit that one part here. Okay, so we'll just ask that last question again. I apologize. My daughter came in on the dog. Here we go. 3. My guy can fix this up. 3, 2, 1. Okay, lastly, toughest trophy to win, I think, right, is the Vanier Cup. You got to hit the ground running because you only have 8 regular season games. Memorial Cup is tough too. But how do you feel about your team and a chance to win a Vanier Cup? You're in a very tough conference. Defending champs are there. Rams are going to be good. They got a good young team. Bisons are always tough. You never know what to expect from them. And of course, U of A and UBC, no slouches. So what do you think of your chances here in 2021?
Yeah, definitely. Our conference has never been easy. Every game is a challenge. We never go into a game thinking, we got this in the bag. So I think it's nothing we're not ready for. I think that we have just as good of a team as we've ever had. It's just going to fall on us. I think we're the only thing that can get in our way. And if we have that mindset going through, I think we'll have a pretty good shot.
Tell you what, man, this is the best player in the CanWest Conference, and as good a player as he is, he's a better person. Thanks for this, Adam. I appreciate it. Congratulations on the honor. Can't wait to see you on the gridiron.
Thanks, Ballsy. Appreciate it, man.
Congratulations to Adam Machart for being chosen the top player in the CanWest Conference. Congratulations to everybody who made the list, and I'm proud of everyone that puts on pads and comes out and practices and plays every day in the CanWest Conference. These kids work their butts off, not only in the classroom, but on the football field. And as you saw here, a lot of great stories, a lot of great people that don't get publicity. So make sure you watch this and share it and spread the word and get out and give your local teams some love. The Rams, the Huskies, the Golden Bears, the Dinos, the Bisons, and of course, the UBC Thunderbirds. Want to thank Dieter Hewick and Eric Cox, the behind-the-scenes guys that have really put this thing together, and I want to thank you for checking this out. I'm Ballsy. We'll talk to you next year.